That is an old foundation. What is up, everybody? My name is Dave Torrey. I'm out in the woods on a new spot. Got a lot of old farm fields, a couple of old foundations here. There's another one up that way. I think I just spotted the well right over there. So that's a good sign. I'm out here with my Equinox 600, as always. And I believe that I'm on a 1700s property. I've already found a couple of really cool relics. And it looks like somebody's been bottle digging out here. What do we got? Woods, something bitters, Atwood, something town, Massachusetts. Nice old glass. Lots of old relics hanging out all over the place. Looks like somebody might have been digging here already, but that doesn't mean it's over. Yeah. I think this is going to be a fun spot. Let's get to it. Well, here's a nice piece to start with. Hitting 14-15 on the Equinox. I was sure it was going to be a paper shot shell, but that is for sure a rat tail spoon, which is definitely Colonial. Or 1700s anyway. So that's a great way to start. Not too deep either. 3-4 inches, something like that. That is a good sign. Let's keep going. And just as you'd imagine, here's the handle of that spoon, like 2 feet away. And I believe that these are lead pewter. It's kind of an amalgam. Oh, you'd have to be crazy not to dig that one. Nice soft dirt here. It's rare. What do we got? It's still down there. Kind of like that. And it's out. And it's round. Oh, that's looking pretty coiny to me. Oh man, it's beat up though. Huh. I don't know, it's got the thickness of like a large cent. Feels a little bit light. Really crusty for copper. But man, it was hitting right. I guess we'll have to clean that off. See what we got. I just went to town scraping this coin off. Busted off a couple of toothpicks. And man, removed some stuff on it, some caking. There seems to be these like irony deposits that were all over it. Almost like somebody lost it in their pocket with a bunch of nails or something like that. Or lost it out of their pocket. And like I say, it's just not giving a whole lot up to me. But it seems like I do have a little bit of detail right over here on this side. I think that this would be the reverse. And I believe that I'm looking at the shield of Britannia right there. Little oval shield. And a little bit of the staff going up like that. Or spear. So this could be an old state copper. This could be an old British penny, half penny. Something like that, but I believe that's what I'm looking at. And if this were the case, there would be a line right there with the date below it. Maybe I can get a little bit more off at home. And hopefully get a bust out of this side. Just nothing. But that is an awesome old coin right after another Colonial find. And we got a lot more area to search. All right. Taking out a little 10 signal, and looks like we got a little button. I'm feeling shankage. Yep, still all shanked up. Very cool. Real low for a button. Old brass button, I guess. Nice. It's a cool little piece of history. This is wild. I found a 12 signal. Dug this silly little mustard container out. Look who is living underneath it. Whoa. Oh, look at this guy. You're a monster. That's incredible. I've never seen one this size before. Wow, dude. Must have been eating all that mustard. I'll let you go right back to where you live. Man, that's crazy. Here, I'll even give you your mustard container back. And digging on a 13 to 14 signal right down the road from Salamander Land. And look at this. That is a nice piece of shoe buckle frame. That's some Colonial stuff right there. I think I see a pattern on it too. Look at the old pants rub. No shame. Oh yeah, pants rub. A little bit of pattern work on there. Oh yeah, a little bit of pattern work on there. Sticking with the Colonial stuff. That's really great. Cool. Sticking with the Colonial stuff. That's really great. That's awesome. I would love to find a complete one today. Now this was hitting a 12 to 13, and it was down there, 5 inches, something like that. And I'm thinking we got an old silver-plated buckle. Yeah. No way that's full silver. It's not. It also just busted in my hand. Is it? I don't know. This front looks... No, it's rubbing off right there. Don't scare me like that. Man, that's a nicely preserved old buckle, though, aside from the part that just broke off. It's a shame. Nice little pattern, too. Yeah, that's pretty. I keep thinking, is it silver? I got to clean this off a little bit. Man, that's cool, though. Yeah, I can see that it's flaking off just a little bit right up there. But man, that silver gilting or silver wash, whatever you call that, that is in nice condition. Very cool little piece. Kind of Celtic almost. Now that is just a nice signal. Seems a little big, maybe a buckle. But hitting low-ish. Could be an Indian head. If it turns out to not be as big. Still sounding pretty nice. Come on. Always under a root. Come on. What do we got? Ooh. Whoa. I'm betting that's going to be a big old dandy button. Looks a little too big for a large scent. Man, that was a nice target. Not feeling any shank. It's got a little bend to it. But it is thick. I guess it could be a coin. I'm getting nothing off of this yet. I'm still thinking dandy button. That's a nice old find, whatever it is, though. I think I'm seeing a little bit of pattern around the outside there. Is that what I'm seeing? Maybe not. I'm going to clean it off, bring it back. It is, in fact, a dandy button, and man, it is fancy. Nice circular sort of pattern going on there. There's the shank side, busted off. That's a nice early one, and man, that's one of the nicer patterns I've ever found on a dandy button. I'm pretty happy about that. Awesome. Man, this thing was hitting nice. Right in the middle of this old road. And I finally got it out. Looks like an old buckle. The old D. It's an oldie. A little bit of silver wash on it still. Cool. It's a nice old buckle. Oh boy. Woo. Loud and clear. Thought this was going to be a lug nut coming out, but that is an old ox knob. 1700 stuff right there. That is a great relic to start the day with. Still got the threads in there. Kind of a small ox knob, but pretty cool. For all that don't know, these would have gone on the horns of oxen. They would have put them over the top of the horn, and then as the horn protruded out of here, they would have filed it down so that nobody could get stabbed while working in the fields. But oxen weren't used past the 1800s, basically, in the United States, so pretty much all of these are 1700s relics. Very cool. This thing's pretty jumpy, but it sounded really good before I popped the plug. Sounds like I'm like right on it. Okay, being difficult. I think I just see something copper popping out of the corner right there. Ooh, yeah. That looks like a big green rim of a coin. That's definitely a large cent. Yes. Oh my God. I have some details. No, the back looks pretty good. It kind of looks like a matron. Sorry. Ooh, is that hold? Yeah. Nice. It's got some details. Is it hold in two places? That's weird. Why'd you do that? Why'd you go and do that? Wonder if we can get a date yet. Nope. Yeah, I think that's hold in two places. Back's looking pretty good though. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna clean this up, bring it back. Day made. Yeah, maybe 1835. Something like that. Nice. I bet that's gonna clean up all right. Wish I had my little cleaning kit with me, but I don't. That's all right. That's cool. Maybe it was a little spinner toy. Kids used to like put a hole in the middle of something and the hole in the side of something, like a coin or whatever, and then they would string it up with two strings, and when you pulled on the strings it would make it spin. So could have been a washer, I guess. But with the 2 holes, I'm thinking little spinner toy, which is pretty cool actually. I like that. Definitely a square nail through that. Sweet. Means we're on a good spot. Maybe some silver today. Just up the road from where I found that large scent. A little round green thing hitting 1718, which usually means Indian head penny. That looks like a wreath to me. I think it's worn out. That's one that I'm going to have to put on the screen once I clean up, because I can't see a thing on that except for a nice big fat wreath going around the back. So I'm quite confident that's an Indian. Oh yeah, I see the United States of America right around it there. Just a tiny little bit of the headdress there, I believe. Yeah, I'll wait until I clean that thing up. But I'm betting you that's what we got. Yeah, you can see a little riffled edge right there. Cool. Indian head in a large scent. I'll take it. Let's get some more. Just for reference, here's a fork in the road where you can see that this trail comes down, and I was looking at old aerial footage and I found this homestead, and it's right down that way. And I feel like this place has been detected before, but I think that everybody has followed this path. But looking at the old aerial footage, I noticed that the path went straight instead of squiggled out sideways like that. And you can just see right here the ruts in the old road where I found that Indian head and that large scent. Really glad that I took a little bit of time to research that. Got a lot more space to look around in here. Lots of old stone walls everywhere. Let's get to it. Here's something fun. This was hitting right on the surface pretty much. Hitting like a 2830 on the Equinox. Yeah. Check that out. It's a tiny little, maybe a cat pistol. Wow, it almost looks like it would still work. It's missing one scale, one little purple scale off the side. It's not looking very old to me. Does it say Frontier? Looks like she's missing a trigger too. Bang. Still pretty cool though. That's a whole lot better than a soda can too. I'll take it. Now here's something. This was hitting like 39. I don't even know why I dug it. Well, now I do, I guess. Looks like an old makeup compact or something. Really love it if it was an old coin purse. You'll find out. Yeah, definitely some makeup stuff. Wow, that's probably the first time that's been opened in 80, 100 years. Cool. It's got like a, I don't know, maybe like a ceramic coating or something like that. Looks like it's brass though. You can see where it popped through the paint there. Pretty cool. It's very heavy. Man, I was really hoping there was going to be a coin in there. Still, that's pretty cool. Good signs for this spot. Now here I was digging on a little 13 to 14 signal, and I was sure that it was going to be another paper shotgun shell, but it's not. And I'm quite certain that I've got a kettle point here. Native Americans traded with the settlers for copper goods and things like that. Oh, it's holed too. It's exactly what they would have done. They traded for copper goods and brass goods and all these things, and the natives didn't find any real use for most of those copper goods except for breaking them up, turning them into arrowheads. And that's almost definitely what we've got right here. That's outrageous. That could be 1600s. And it was only 2 inches down, kind of on this trail here. Wow. See if I can clean that little tie hole out. There we go. Yeah. I'm pretty certain that's what we've got here. Little Native American kettle point. The only other time that I've found any of these, I found 4 of them in the same hole in another episode. And I suspect it was a quiver. And I've literally never seen another one since in the last 3-4 years. That's pretty amazing. That's a real treasure. Nice. Did not expect that. This appears to be something nice. There's like a little piece of a, I don't know, a suspender strap or something right there. I'm thinking that this might have been off of the same article of clothing. But it's got some fancy going on. Looks like some kind of like a Celtic pattern or something like that. I was thinking button, but it's got this strange, I don't know, crimped thing going on. Be great if it focused. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of an emblem. It does look like something, I guess, that would have crimped onto leather or something. I don't know. I'm going to clean it up, see what we got, bring it back. Yeah, I just can't make heads and or tails of this thing. It's got these two kind of, I don't know, iron little, it looks like welds on there almost. And then it's got this tongue that sticks up that almost looks like it's holed. It's pretty ornate. Definitely some sort of clothing accoutrement of some sort. But that's all I got. Definitely old, it was down there. And we are back at home wrapping up a series of awesome hunts, really ranging through 4 different centuries of history, which is incredible. Starting in the back, we've got this funny little, I don't know, it's kind of like a little faceplate sort of adornment, maybe for furniture, I would imagine. Maybe this would have kind of gone on the arm of a chair or something like that. Maybe it was part of a clothing article. As I had said, there are these 2 little kind of iron welds around this brass tongue. It's kind of fancy. I don't know what to make of it. If you've got any ideas, let me know. Moving on, we got a ox knob. Always cool to find. Nice early piece of history. This fancy sash buckle, perhaps, or maybe a suspender buckle. Most of a suspender buckle. Nicely silver plated. Kind of a Celtic design. Found in a really early site, so could have some history to it. A piece of shoe buckle frame, a little pattern going on there. Definitely early. I'm assuming it could be as early as this coin that I found right by it, which actually came out spectacular. A little flat button found right around that coin. No back mark. Pretty rough shank attachment. So it could be as old as well. Not really dandy button sized or anything, but definitely kind of rough construction. Nice big dandy button. Very fancy. Busted shank. Quite early, I am sure. This Indian head penny turned out to be in 1880. It is completely just toasted, but cool anyway. Interesting that it was found by that large cent too. Kind of spans a couple of generations there, really. And moving on towards the front here, got this old cap gun, is what it turned out to be. It's got this little door here that sort of just falls off that I guess you would have been able to put your caps inside of. Bang. Pretty cool little thing. And it is made by the Frontier Toy Company, evidently. Hong Kong, model 1118. I wasn't able to find anything on that exact model online, like a date, but I'm kind of assuming 40s, 50s maybe, with this purple plastic scale on the side. Maybe even a little bit later than that, which is odd because that house was showing up on aerial mapping from 1939, but it was just nowhere to be found, completely demolished, taken away, just no traces of it. So strange that there would be a little toy gun from that age that far out in the woods. Moving on, we got this makeup case, little kind of maybe ceramic paint coating going on there. Definitely like a 1920s, 30s kind of artistic style going on about it. Would have had a mirror up there, and I don't know, like blush and a little pad there, and maybe this is lipstick. I don't know. I'm not a makeup guy. I don't know these things, but it's cool. That's a cool thing to find. Definitely brass. And then moving on to the front of the front row, we've got our 1834 large cent, hold possibly turned into a wizard toy. And this coin, usually with my coppers, I in the past was just using soap and water to clean them off, and that just ruins any kind of patina that you get on there. So I was trying something new this time. Instead of doing any toothpicking or anything, I just sat there and just rubbed this thing with a kind of a soft cloth. Just watching TV, just rubbed it for, like a few hours probably. And that's what came out of it. And I think that that's probably the route that I will go with a lot of my coppers from here on out. Toothpick them to get all that dirt and grime and stuff off, and then just kind of buff them, Maybe I'll even use an actual little buffer on the Dremel or something like that. And one other thing that I used to seal that up, I sealed the dandy button up and all the other finds with it, is this Renaissance wax, which is a microcrystalline wax polish. It's a nice finish that is apparently made for museum quality artifacts and things like that, and it gives it a nice little sheen and protects the surface. And apparently the greatest part about it is that it is removable. So if you ever needed to remove the finish on a artifact, you would be able to with this stuff. I guess there's some sort of a solvent that you can use to take it off. So really cool stuff, really great for shoe buckles and things like that, relics of all sorts, relics like these. Moving on, you won't believe this. That is the same coin that you saw come out of the ground that was all just encrusted and disgusting, and it cleaned up really nice. And I didn't think that there was going to be much detail left in this coin, so I took it out to my shop and I put it on the Dremel, and I used starting out I used like a nylon wheel on the Dremel to clean it up, and that just wasn't cutting it, so I went straight to the fine metal wheel. which I just thought was going to destroy it. Nope, it didn't. It actually cleaned it up really nice, and to the point where I got not only identification, but I got a date. Now, you can see up on screen, I've got an example of a 1730 KG2 halfpenny, which is what this is. You can see the 1-2 facing left bust, Georgievus Rex, and Britannia wrapping around, Lady Britannia right there. And at the bottom, you can see a very clear 0 at the end, a kind of number right there. There's the 7 and the 1. And KG2 only went to 1739, which means that it could only be a 1730. So there you go, 1730 KG2. Amazing that came back. I'm blown away by that. And if I find other wasted coppers that I, am not sure of the fate of, then I might just, take them to that Dremel wheel as well. Did a pretty good job. And then way up front in the most important slot, my God, this beauty right here. This is a 1600s kettle point. As you can see, I've got an example that is almost exactly the same up on the screen right now. And I've read a couple of blogs and articles and stuff like that. And this variety was made by the Narragansett tribe. And this, amazingly, I found an article, which you see up there, about one made by the Narragansett tribe. And this was found well in the range of where they would have been traveling and living. And what an extremely well-preserved example. Once I scraped it off with a toothpick, I gave it some of that Renaissance wax, and look at that detail. You can see that nice sharpening on the sides there. See that glint on the sharpened edge. It's just amazing, the craftsmanship. Just busted up from an old kettle or some sort of an old brass good. They would have holed it right there, and then use that to tie the sinew through onto the arrow shaft that they would have slotted and slid in like that. And like I say, you would have tied through that hole and around the arrow shaft to make a nice solid connection. And then you've got a really nice, sharp arrow. And look at the thickness of that. It's incredible that they were using these to hunt and stuff, and it's just so thin, so kind of dainty. But what a beautiful piece of history. And what an amazing hunt. What a couple of amazing spots. Anyway, thank you guys very much for going on the journey with me. If you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, go out and dig cool stuff up.